Hello everyone, welcome to 10-Minute Physiology. In today's video, I'm going to give you a short explanation as to how the sympathetic nervous system modulates the heart rate. So with that, let's give it a go. So I'd like to start off with a hypothetical experiment. So in this experiment, we have a human heart that is connected to a monitor. Now this monitor is connected to a specific region of the human heart called the SA node. So the SA node is going to be responsible for the pacemaking of the heart. So the SA node releases spontaneous action potentials, and then the rate at which these action potentials are released is going to determine the heart rate. So in this case, we have the heart that's connected to a monitor. So this is going to be the control. So in this control experiment, we don't have any sympathetic input into the heart. So it's just the heart beating on its own. So let's take a look at what the heart rate is. So what we see on the monitor here is that the heart rate beat 4 times in 3 seconds. So in order to calculate the heart rate, you would do 4 divided by 3, which is around 1.33, and then you would multiply that by 60, and what you would get is a heart rate of 80. So the control experiment gives you a heart rate of around 80 beats per minute. So what if we were to bring into the sympathetic nervous system? What would happen? So if we brought in the sympathetic nervous system and the sympathetic nervous system started to modulate the heart rate, what we would see is that the heart rate would increase. So what we see in this experiment is that the heart beat around 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times in 3 seconds. So in order to calculate the heart rate, 6 divided by 3 is 2. 2 times 60 is 120. So the sympathetic nervous system increased the heart rate from 80 beats per minute to 120 beats per minute. So what the sympathetic nervous system does is it increases the heart rate. But how does the sympathetic nervous system increase the heart rate? Well, it's going to increase the heart rate in 2 ways, and we're going to look at those 2 ways in the next part of the video. So the first way that it's going to affect the heart rate is going to be through the calcium channels. So how is the sympathetic nervous system going to affect the calcium channels? Well, the main way it's going to affect the calcium channels is through the beta-1 adrenergic receptor. So what happens is the beta-1 adrenergic receptor is a GS protein coupled receptor. So remember, the GS protein coupled receptors have a GS protein, and the GS protein is going to stimulate adenylate cyclase. So the sympathetic nervous system is going to release the neurotransmitter norepinephrine, and norepinephrine is going to bind to the beta-1 adrenergic receptor. Now, when you bind to the beta-1 adrenergic receptor, the GS protein is going to be activated, and it's going to activate adenylate cyclase. So adenylate cyclase will convert ATP into cyclic AMP. Cyclic AMP will then activate protein kinase A, and then protein kinase A will phosphorylate the L-type calcium channels. Now, the phosphorylation of the L-type calcium channels is what's going to affect the heart rate. So how does the phosphorylation of the calcium channel affect the heart rate? So in order to understand this, we're going to do a voltage clamp experiment. So this voltage clamp is basically going to exert a constant voltage on the channel. And what you can do with this is you can see how the channel opens and closes in response to this voltage. So this voltage clamp is going to exert a positive voltage on the L-type calcium channel. And what we're going to do is we're going to see how the current is affected through this channel. So what we're going to see here is that when we exert a positive voltage, this is going to cause the channel to open, which will allow calcium to flow in the cell. So what we see at baseline or at the control experiment is that this channel is actually going to open 4 times during the course of this experiment. So we see it opens once, twice, 3, and 4 times. So it opens 4 times in the course of this experiment. So how will this channel be affected if we phosphorylate it? Well, if we phosphorylate the calcium channel, what we see is that when we exert a positive voltage, it opens the channel, allows calcium to flow through. But what we see is that it opens more times. So it opens 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 times. So what we see here is that the channel opens more times when it's phosphorylated than when it wasn't phosphorylated. And what we see here is that when we phosphorylate the channel, it will cause the channel to open more than it did when it's not phosphorylated. So in other words, when you phosphorylate the calcium channels, it increases the opening probability. So in other words, the channel is more easily opened at more negative voltage. So effectively, it's going to decrease the threshold. So in other words, the voltage that's required in order to start the action potential is going to be lowered. So therefore, it's much easier to initiate an action potential in this case than it would be if you didn't phosphorylate the channel. So now that we know the first part of this story, let's look at the second way in which the sympathetic nervous system increases the heart rate. So the second way in which it increases the heart rate is also going to be through the beta-1 adrenergic receptors. So basically what happens is norepinephrine comes in and it binds to the beta-1 adrenergic receptor, which then activates GS. GS activates adenylate cyclase, which produces cyclic AMP. Now, cyclic AMP is going to modulate the funny channel. So the funny channel, remember, is going to be responsible for modulating phase 4 in the pacemaker cells. So cyclic AMP is going to bind to the funny channel and cause certain effects. So how does this affect the funny channel? So in order to understand how it affects the funny channel, we're going to do the same experiment where we have a voltage clamp. Now remember, the funny channel is going to open in response to negative voltage. So when we exert a constant negative voltage, the funny channel will open and it will allow positive ions to flow through. So on the monitor for current, what we see is that the funny channel opens 4 times in the course of this experiment. So what if we were to add cyclic AMP to it? So what if cyclic AMP were to bind to the funny channel? Well, if cyclic AMP were to bind to the funny channel and we did the same thing that we did at the control, what you would see is that the funny channel would open more times than it did without the cyclic AMP. So in other words, we see the same effect that we saw with the calcium channels. When cyclic AMP binds to the funny channel, it increases the open probability of the funny channels. Therefore, the channel can open more easily at more positive or less negative voltages than it would without the cyclic AMP. So in summary, the SNS, or the sympathetic nervous system, increases the heart rate by affecting the pacemaker cells. And it does this in 2 ways. The first way is it increases the open probability of the L-type calcium channels and allows them to be open more often at more negative voltages. This therefore decreases the threshold for initiating an action potential, and it allows action potentials to be initiated more easily. The second way is that it affects the open probability of the funny channels, and it allows them to be open at more positive voltages, and this increases the rate at which the cell reaches threshold. So it's the combination of these 2 things which allows the sympathetic nervous system to increase the heart rate. So I hope you understood what went on in this video, and I hope this helped you understand how the sympathetic nervous system affects the heart rate, and I hope to see you in the next video. Good luck studying, and thanks for watching.